Comment below with your city or country. I'm eager to know where you're reading from. I stood at the edge of my ranch, boots planted in the dirt, staring at a gleaming silver fence that hadn't been there yesterday. It cut off my 60-acre property like a prison wall, blocking my cattle, truck, and barn. A padlocked gate mocked me, chaining my freedom. The Silverwood Pines Homeowners Association claimed it was to preserve neighborhood aesthetics. They didn't care that I wasn't part of their HOA, that their fence was illegal, or that my land predated their cookie-cutter mansions. I called, emailed, and stormed their clubhouse, but they smirked, citing warnings about my unsightly property line. My barn, they said, clashed with their visual code. So, I did what no one expected. In 48 hours, I hired a crew and built a 12-foot cedar fence around their entire neighborhood, topped with barbed wire. Not to harm, just to warn. Every exit was sealed, and at the only gate, I installed a smart lock only I could open. At 6:15 a.m. Friday, the chaos began. Why is the gate locked? I'm late for work. HOA President Eleanor Thornton, in a satin robe and flip-flops, screamed into her phone. From my barn roof, coffee in hand, I watched through binoculars. My walkie-talkie crackled. "Mr. Carter, Eleanor's coming with cops," my ranch hand, Jasper, said. I grinned. Let her. As I reached my gate, Eleanor shrieked, "Open it, or you're arrested." But the cops hesitated, listening. That's when things spiraled. I'm Luke Carter, a 38-year-old rancher, widower, and veteran. 6 years ago, after losing my wife to cancer, I bought this central Colorado ranch, dreams of open skies and quiet nights. Back then, it was plains and a gravel road. 3 years ago, Silverwood Pines sprouted, replacing fields with manicured lawns and nosy clipboard warriors. I stayed friendly, waving to joggers, letting kids feed my goats, lending tools. But when Eleanor moved in 2 years ago, everything changed. She ran Silverwood Pines like a dictator, her husband Martin trailing like a shadow. Her first letter complained my windmill's color was offensive. Then my cows were too loud. By the 5th, she demanded I repaint my barn and hide my tractors. I wrote back, "I'm not in your HOA. Stop contacting me." She didn't. Inspection teams photographed my land. A drone buzzed my stables. I caught a guy who shrugged and fled. Still, I stayed calm, until the fence. While I was away helping my sister with her newborn, Silverwood Pines fenced my ranch, padlocking the gate. The sheriff sighed. They claimed security. "You'll need court." Court? My livestock couldn't wait months. That night, with Jasper and my foreman Clara, I planned. They want a fence? I'll give them one. We bought premium cedar, hired hands, and installed a smart lock. By Thursday, their neighborhood was caged. Friday's chaos was glorious. Residents climbed the fence, snagging clothes. Cars dented it. Eleanor arrived with cops. "Did you block their access?" an officer asked. I handed my deed. "I own the utility easement." "They fenced me first." Eleanor snatched it, yelling, "This means nothing." The cop waved her off. "They needed your permission." Her jaw dropped. She threatened lawsuits, but I knew something she didn't. Eleanor called Channel 7, screaming I'd taken Silverwood Pines hostage. As cameras rolled, she swung a crowbar at my lock, sparks flying. "Ma'am, stop," an officer shouted. My speakers blared. "Step away or face charges. You're recorded." Eleanor froze as cops cuffed her for vandalism. But that was just the start. Released the next day, she plotted worse. At 2 a.m. Saturday, I heard clinking. Hiding in the brush, I filmed 4 figures, Martin and Eleanor's brother, Paul, cutting my fence. I stepped out, flashlight blazing. Evening. They scattered, but my floodlight caught them. "Smile, you're viral." I sent the footage to Sheriff Tom, who laughed. HOA folks are wild. By Monday, Silverwood Pines hired lawyers, filing a cease and desist and an emergency motion claiming I violated human rights. I wasn't fazed. They'd die on this hill. They built a secret gate on my east side, tunneling through at night. I countered with a taller gate and drones. Eleanor, on the clubhouse balcony with a bullhorn, screamed, "He's holding us hostage." She vowed to cut my utilities, unaware I had solar and a private well. Her crew arrived to disconnect me, but Sheriff Tom was on my porch, coffee in hand. "Got a permit?" he asked. They stammered, "HOA orders." "This is Carter land," he said. "That's tampering." They fled, leaving gear. Hours later, Eleanor brought a news crew, calling me dangerous. I gave the reporter my deeds, vandalism footage, and proof of their illegal fence. The 6 p.m. news headlined, "Rancher legally fences HOA after they blocked his land." Public support surged. Ranchers left pies. Comments cheered me. Eleanor called an HOA meeting, barring me despite my land under their clubhouse. A banner read, "Reclaim Silverwood Pines." She rallied for a lawsuit, but Daniel Evans, a quiet coder, spoke up. "He owns the road. We fenced him first. Let's talk." Murmurs grew. Eleanor snapped, "He's taking over." Then the lights died. The utility line powered their backup. As chaos erupted, a fire alarm blared. Smoke poured from the kitchen. No fire, just a burner. But Eleanor vanished. At 11 p.m., my cameras caught her slashing my lock with a box cutter. "You're trespassing," I said through the speaker. She screamed, "You don't belong here." Jasper restrained her until Sheriff Tom arrived, arresting her for violating my restraining order. Eleanor sobbed, "You ruined my neighborhood." An audit revealed she siphoned thousands via fake votes and her brother's overpriced contracts. The HOA collapsed. Residents demanded refunds, but the money was gone. They met at my ranch under my oak tree. "We're sorry," Daniel said. "We didn't know." I offered to unlock the gate if they stopped bullying. They agreed, clapping. But a lawsuit landed, filed by Carol Thornton, Eleanor's sister, a Denver lawyer, accusing me of imprisoning Silverwood Pines, demanding I demolish my fence and fund wellness programs. My lawyer, Jane Evans, ex-Army, scoffed, "They're scared you'll talk." We countered for trespassing, harassment, and defamation. In court, Carol was icy, demanding my records. We showed Eleanor's vandalism, drone footage, and bank records tying Carol to laundered HOA funds. The judge ruled my fence legal, ordered Silverwood Pines to pay damages, and suspended the HOA for audit. Carol stormed out. 3 days later, my east fence was destroyed, panels slashed, cameras smashed, a sign reading, "This isn't over." It wasn't Eleanor or Carol. At dawn, I found hoof prints. My cattle gates were open, 31 of 74 cows gone, one dead on the highway. I wept in the dirt. Clara traced payments to John Ramsey, my ex-ranch hand-turned-developer, working with Eleanor for my water-rich land. His firm, Ramsey Land Company, pocketed $200,000 in HOA fraud to sabotage me. That night, John confronted me at my gate, smirking. "I'll build condos here." I stood firm. "You're done." Jane filed federal fraud and sabotage charges. John was arrested at a Boulder diner. Headlines roared, "Developer busted in ranch conspiracy." At a community meeting, I unveiled a new iron gate, Carter Ranch, founded on honor. I gave Silverwood Pines a key to a county road, demanding mutual respect. Daniel, now HOA president, shook my hand. Eleanor fled to Nevada. Carol retreated to law. John faced trial. Under the stars, Jasper handed me a beer. "Land safe," he said. I nodded. Peace restored. The gate opens when I say, but now for neighbors, not enemies. Eleanor's tyranny ended, Silverwood Pines reformed, and Luke's ranch stood free, proving one man's stand can protect a legacy and rebuild a community.